Can your son get a football scholarship at the D1, D2, JUCO, or NAIA level? Most high school football players are unsure of the level they currently have the best chance to earn a scholarship at. And believe me, there's a huge difference between Division I Power 4, G5, and FCS, let alone D2, JUCO, and NAIA. So instead of wasting your time on outreach that goes nowhere or chasing after schools that are never going to offer you, I'm going to show you the exact system that my head coach and I use that has 15 years of Division I recruiting experience to professionally evaluate and determine which division every high school football player we work with should target, that has helped 83% of our athletes earn a college football scholarship and 42% go to Division I. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which divisions to target so you can focus your efforts confidently and avoid the frustration and overwhelm of targeting the wrong schools. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Richie Contartesi. I'm the founder of Next Play, and I specialize in transforming driven varsity football players into confident businessmen, and I make these videos because I understand the struggle firsthand. At just 5'7" and 150 pounds, I secured a D1 football scholarship in the SEC at Ole Miss, and now I want to share my journey and the lessons that I learned with you so you can live your dream as well. So the first step is to assess your fit for all the different divisions and levels. And there are 4 different ways that you can compare yourself. The first one is evaluating your game film. Now, there are 3 different options to evaluating your game film, and what we highly recommend is you get an active or recently active director of college football recruiting or college football coach who can assess your film. We highly suggest avoiding high school coaches or trainers or just current players alone, because you're going to miss out on the opportunity to know exactly what college coaches and college recruiting directors are actually looking at. Now, we do offer professional evaluations for athletes that qualify, where myself and my head coach, who has 15 years of D1 recruiting experience, do a professional evaluation for an athlete, or you can find that elsewhere. Option 2, this is the do-it-yourself approach, and this is where you can actually look at players that have signed from other divisions that you feel your son meets closely at, whether that's Power 4, G5, FCS, D2, NAIA, JUCO, and go watch some of the players' films that play the same position as your son, and you can evaluate side by side how they look. And the third option would be to just attend showcases and camps where you know for a fact college coaches are going to be at, and you know they'll actually give you feedback. This is really important. Again, it's camps with active college football coaches who will actually be able to evaluate you in person and give you feedback as well. At the end of the day, the more evaluations you get, and you get them over time, the better idea you'll have of what level you should be targeting. The second thing you've got to compare are your physical attributes. And this would be your height, your weight, your speed, your agility, how you physically compare against other athletes in the same divisions. So you can easily go online and look at all the different levels and typically the averages of what those players, their height, their weight, their speed, their agility, the different drills that they'll execute and what their times are, and how you compare. In addition to the other 2, the third way is to compare statistics. Now, this is not always accurate, and that's why most coaches don't even look at statistics at the college level, is because it depends on where you live, the competition level. It can vary drastically. So although statistics are a way for you to compare, this absolutely does not replace the first 2, which is your game film and your physical attributes. And then lastly is your academics. Do you qualify for these different divisions? There's some even at the NAIA or at the Division II level where the academics are extremely high. So you want to make sure that when you're targeting, especially specific conferences within Division I AA or within Division II, that academically you meet the criteria. Step 2, targeting the right divisions efficiently. Now that you've went through the process of either getting a professional evaluation or going through the process of doing it yourself and evaluating a lot of game film from different players who have signed at multiple different levels, evaluating your physical attributes as well as your academics, it's time to make sure that we are targeting the right divisions at the right time to make sure that everything you're doing is efficient and you're not doing a ton of outreach and marketing yourself to coaches. That's going to be a huge waste of your time that you're not going to get any responses or offers. So the way we approach this is we segment the divisions into 3 different categories, and we call these your max schools, your push schools, and your sure thing schools. The sure thing schools is where you're going to spend roughly 50% of your time. And this will be where you fit the best in all the divisions. So for example, if you are a legitimate Division II player, then that's going to be your sure thing division. This is where you're going to spend 50% of your time focusing on Division II schools. Your push schools are where you're going to spend the next 30% of your time. And we'll use the Division II as an example. Even though you're a Division II player, there's still opportunity for you to get an FCS scholarship if it's the right fit. So we want to spend roughly 30% of your time focusing on these FCS programs. And then your max schools is where you're going to spend the last 20% of your time. And this is where you just are going to get maybe one coach to believe in you, so you still want to spend some of your time there. So for example, again, you're a Division II athlete. However, 30% of your time you're going to spend on FCS, on some of those push schools. And then the max schools would be a G5 program, where all you need is just one coach to believe in you. And the second part of this is once you've segmented your target divisions, the second portion of this is to segment by program needs or conferences. If you're an FCS player or higher, then you're gonna really want to begin segmenting not just by division, but by program needs and by conferences. For example, I went and I played in the SEC. I went the hardest route possible, and that's why I make these videos so you don't have to. But when I look back, it would have been much better if I had played in the Big 12 versus the SEC. Why? Because I was a slot receiver, and in the SEC, it was much more pro style, whereas the Big 12 was much more spread. So once you get to the Power 4 or G5 levels, you're gonna want to start segmenting by conferences. And if you're at the FCS or lower, you're gonna wanna start segmenting by program needs. What does that particular program need from a player? For example, if you're a quarterback and you're not very fast, we want to start looking at programs where the quarterback doesn't run the ball very often, because they're going to be most likely to offer you a scholarship. And step 3, we want to track, measure, and make adjustments based on your outreach numbers. We call these numbers your KPIs, key performance indicators. This is how much outreach you're doing, how many of these coaches are responding back to you. When they are responding back to you, how many are watching your film? If they're watching your film, how many of those film views are turning into visits, and those visits into offers. These are performance indicators that we'll look at to determine whether you're targeting the right schools. So even though you've got an evaluation and we're targeting schools, we still need to do outreach, communicate with these coaches, and then make adjustments based on what the market is telling you. Because college football is always changing, so are you as a player, and so are evaluations. That's why we suggest getting an evaluation at least once every year, if not every 6 months. To make sure you are targeting the right schools and you're on track, these are the numbers that you should expect. Once you've identified 60 area coaches that you are going to be targeting, you should expect 40 of those area coaches to actually watch your video. And of those 40, you should expect 50 to 20 of them to get on a call with you. And of those 50 to 20, you should secure 5 to 7 official visits, which you can expect 2 to 3 offers. If you're not consistently getting these numbers, it could be because you haven't gotten a professional evaluation and you're targeting the wrong divisions, the wrong programs, or the wrong conferences. Now, to make this really easy for you, I created a checklist that you can download right below this video that walks through every step of the process and what you need to do at each step to make sure you're not only targeting the right schools, but you're getting better at each step of the outreach process. And you can find that right below this video, of course, for free. Now, if you got value from this video and you'd like to see more videos just like it, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. And if you'd like to watch a full exclusive presentation that I gave to all of the members at Next Play Live, where I shared the exact 3 steps that you can take to earn a college football scholarship in the new portal era without connections, then you're gonna wanna watch this video right here.